Woo-hoo! Welcome to our live conversations with Beth. It's a Shifts and Giggles is my podcast, and this is the first time I'm doing this live, like kind of with other people on the call. It's always been live, I guess. But I wanted to introduce this fabulous Wonder Woman, who I am very blessed to call friend. And did you know she's a TEDx speaker? She's a leadership coach, and she is an author. Isn't that fun to say? She's an author. And yeah, so we want to hear all about your book and all that stuff. She and I are doing a workshop together this weekend at Sticks and Stones Farm. Do you know we are entering into a very cosmic moment? All the planets and the stars are aligning, and it's the autumnal equinox on Sunday, and it's also a new moon solar eclipse. So if you are in need of hitting the pause button, need an opportunity to reflect, to listen, to tune in, listen to what your body is what your body is speaking, and the art of inquiry. We are going to be on the magical grounds of Sticks and Stones Farm from 2 to 4 on Sunday. And you can find the information on signing up for that play shop workshop on my website, bethlees.com. Okay, Jen, you are amazing, a powerhouse, and I want to hear all about what you're rolling out here.
Oh my gosh, you are incredible. I just love you so much. And I love your community. And I'm so happy to be here right now. Thank you for showing up. And what a fun thought around your podcast, but being this live invitation to bring everyone into the experience. I just love that so, so much. So I am very, very excited about this book that I have written that I cannot believe I wrote. I didn't even know I was writing it. Yes. I did not really know that I was writing it. I really, without sounding cheesy, will say my body spoke. It just led me to this moment. It led me to this time. And this is the time for this message. It all happened in divine timing. I am not, there's no coincidence here, because in this time, in our world, we need now more than ever to listen to our bodies. There is so much focus on mindset to get straight, to get into the right mind space, to have the difficult conversations, to win the game, to close the deal, to step into our power, to move through whatever it is in our life. And the missing piece that we're really not talking about is bodyset. And that is what this platform, my mission is all about, is to introduce this hidden, missing piece, bodyset, the complement to mindset. Our bodies know before our mind does. And I know so many of us know that in this community, especially. This is a healing community of entrepreneurs that are so, inspired and connected to this kind of thinking. And so my hope is—
But we don't always listen.
That's true. Oh, and by the way, can you just jump in whenever? I don't know if you want me to just keep talking and do the thing, or if you want to ask me questions, like on a podcast.
Well, I can ask you questions, but go for a while and then I'll decide when I want to ask you.
Okay, then just jump in whenever you want. So yes, that is the frame. And this book is filled with stories from my life that led me here. It's stories from my clients' lives that help them really, the stories from my clients are really meant to inspire you and meant to sort of awaken and relate to this concept and how accessible it really is and what the transformation can be as a result of it. It's also filled with a lot of science. Again, I didn't realize that I was creating a practice that is accessible to attain every single day, to reset and listen to the body's wisdom. I didn't realize it. I started off in Zoom rooms like this during the pandemic, having had so much experience as a movement practitioner and a dance educator for over 30 years. I know the power of the body, and I knew that I could help heal and realign and recenter people during this extraordinary time of self-doubt and pain and worry. And so I started asking people to embody their emotions with their hands. And I could never have guessed the kind of transformation that I witnessed.
So talk to us about that. Talk to
Yeah.
us about the power of gesture, girl.
Yes. So, I mentioned the power of gesture because I teach it in the book. So this is a big part of the book. How do we listen? This is how. In my world, this is how. So the power of gesture. So I started asking people to use their hands. And so the hands have so much profound connection to the brain. There are 40,000 neurons in our hands connected to our brain that are on a constant loop all day long. And that is why we can reset how we feel so quickly. The hands are meant to unlock the wisdom. The hands are meant to help us express. We come out into this world expressing ourselves with our hands. We all gesture. We just, most of us, including myself, didn't realize the power and the depth of this tool right here. So that is the power of gesture. It is a bodyset practice, right? Using our body to help us unlock the wisdom within our soul, to help us understand, hear it, listen to it, right? Your body is speaking, helps us really listen to that wisdom, learn how to trust it, and then be guided by it. And when we do that, we live authentically because it all comes from within us. We live powerfully because we've taken the time to understand who we are, what we want, and where we want to go. All of that happens with the hands, which is incredible. And the other thing that I want to mention in this book, and by the way, there's so much more science connected to that, and I'm going to go back to that in a second. I want to also share that the book is set up in a 3E framework. The first E is embody. And we use the power of gesture. We use it in everything, but we use the power of gesture in Embody to realign, to understand how we got disconnected in the first place, or just off track in a moment in time, because we're constantly getting off track, even when we're on track. A month later, a year later, something happens and we'll get off track. So the Embody phase is all about what is that? And we use the hands to uncover that wisdom, that knowledge, that life experience. Then once we're embodied, we move into empower. And empower, in this phase, we've already done the work of getting into alignment with our truth and understanding who we are and what we want instead of our families and our friends and social media and everything else external guiding us. We know who we are. Then in the empower phase, we can start creating inspired action, right? Taking steps, laying out the path forward from this authentic, centered, embodied place. So that's embody, empower, and then elevate is the third E, where when we're in this phase, we can elevate, we can serve. We can serve from that embodied knowing our truth and serve from that place. And then, like I said, it's not a framework. This is not a book that's like, oh, I'm gonna fix. There's nothing to fix. This is about awakening and reminding you that all the answers are inside of you. So when we
remembering yourself,
remembering, exactly, it's all about that remembering, because it's all there. It's all there. And the power of gesture, this somatic experience, helps us unlock all of that and remind us that we are strong, capable, and ready for it all. We just have
yes, we are. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, so that's the book. It's set up in the 3E framework. The power of gesture takes us through. There are QR codes after every chapter that you click, or when you're listening to the book, because I just recorded it. I recorded it and it's on.
I love that you recorded it.
Ah, it was so fun and incredible, and I'm so happy to have that version. So there is a resource page with the QR codes, or when you're listening, you just, go to the URL. And there are chapter videos. They are for you, where I take you through the power of gesture based on a theme that happened in that book. I mean, that happened in that chapter. Does that make sense?
So it's not just a book. It's more than a book.
Someone called it this weekend a multimedia experience. I was like,
Oh
oh,
yeah, baby.
damn.
It's an adventure.
Exactly. It's an adventure, Ronnie. Oh my God. Yes, I love that. So that's the book, and it's very, oh, I wanted to go back to something, one part of the research. There's a lot of different research moments, threaded throughout the book. But one thing that I really wanted to highlight that is incredibly important and sits at the core of the power of gesture is two forms of intelligence that I came into later in life after a lot of struggle. And if we have time, I think I'm going to read an excerpt, right?
Yeah, I'd like to hear about the struggle.
Yeah, yes. Well, the story that I was going to read really goes into the struggle, so I can just read it and then yeah. So, anyhow, when I came out of the struggle, which you'll hear about in a second, it was because I came into this incredible research. I found the work of Howard Gardner, who's a Harvard professor and psychologist, and Daniel Goleman, who is a science journalist and psychologist. And both of them have done extensive research about two forms of intelligence that we all have: kinesthetic and emotional. Kinesthetic being the body's ability, the physical body's ability to be able to learn and heal and express through movement. And emotional intelligence, which is our innate emotional ability to really connect to what's going on within us and have the awareness of others. And we all have these intelligences at varying degrees, but they're both innate. And when I learned about that, my entire life changed. And these two forms are at the core of the power of gesture. Our hands being the kinesthetic intelligence, and the emotional intelligence, because it's all about the emotions and what we're feeling inside. And when these two forms of intelligence are activated together, there's a ton of research about how our leadership capabilities escalate completely for a million reasons that I could share with you. And our ability to really navigate our nervous system and drop into that calm state when we're heightened. So the hands are the power of gesture really activates both of them. So there's that. Beth, what do you think?
Woohoo!
Beth and I are doing an event this Sunday. And can you tell we just have so much fun together? So you've got to come. It's going to be
There will be no fun on Sunday.
no fun. I love it because I feel like, Beth, when we're together, we make sometimes what can be, difficult and weighted conversations around who we are, our emotions, where we're going, obstacles that we're facing, and we infuse joy. And I love that.
Yeah, I mean, both are true. Both are true. The darkness and the joy.
It's true.
Why have the darkness and no joy?
What? Oh, why have the darkness and no joy? Exactly. I mean, sometimes people can't access the joy, right? And that's
true.
why we need these kinds of modalities so that we can access the joy and bring it in. And a big piece of my work is really inviting in the darkness and complementing it with the joy, with the strengths, creating safety inside of the body through these gestures. We do acknowledge the dark and we embody them with our hands. And then we also call on our strengths, and we call on that light. We call on that soul that's within us, that's just sort of clouded right now, but it's still there, that joyful baby that we once were, that were so uninhibited and unapologetic. And we invite the strength and turn up the volume on that and allow the two to really coexist together and help each other. I see some other, oh, okay, perfect. So what do you think? Should I read a little? How you all feeling over here? Before I read anything, are there any questions, or did anyone want to ask me anything? I'm an open book, no pun intended.
Oh, I saw what you did there.
Ronnie, yes.
Well, I would like to hear about how the dance came into body gesture. Like, I'm sure they're connected. So how did you make that connection? Because you said I know you're a dancer and a dance educator, so I'm just curious.
Yeah, it's a great question. So first of all, my struggle was around intelligence, and you'll hear about that when I read this a little bit. But the one thing that kept me out of the pain that I was feeling, because it was truly debilitating for a couple of decades, I had dance, and dance was connecting me to something that I didn't realize how powerful it actually was until I found that research around kinesthetic and emotional intelligence. And that's what shifted me. And I was like, oh, this is my intelligence. This is why during the struggle, I still felt confident and grounded. I understand. So dance has always been more than dance for me. I loved, of course, performing and doing all the things and choreographing and teaching. But it really kept me rooted in my intelligence. And so it was bigger than just dance. So when the pandemic hit, after 20 years of teaching children and empowering children through the arts, specifically dance, teaching them curriculum through movement, which is what I wound up doing, which was incredibly healing because it's what I needed when I was a kid. Dance also once again became this tool. And it was, again, more than dance. It was like movement, our body's capability, our physical intelligence. And then when the pandemic hit and I started working with people on Zoom, I knew first and foremost, in order to help people heal and move through this time, I needed to feel their energy, which I know you can all understand that. So I stayed close to the camera, which meant that I couldn't have them up and dancing, right? Also, not everybody's comfortable dancing. And I knew that I wanted to create something accessible and approachable, because I knew that we were dealing with the most vulnerable thing, which is these heavy, heavy emotions of fear and worry and concern and all the things that we did during the pandemic. So staying close to the camera, I felt confident doing that, allowing them to just use their hands, because I knew it was more than dance. It was the body. It was the body's intelligence. And I chose to use the hands. And then I was blown away by all that showed up after that. And that's when all the research came, because I was like, why is this working so beautifully? But that was sort of the journey of how it kind of came into this. Now, with that said, as you know, Ronnie, because we've worked together for a long time, that it's all about the hands. And when someone feels comfortable enough or wants to go a little bit further or explore and experiment, we get up on our feet and bring the gestures into our full body. And some people do that and some people don't. But there is no dance requirement in this practice at all. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, although I was thinking about how kinesthetic, like when you think about intuition, which is my area, kinesthetic is feeling stuff, right?
Well, it's actually your body's physical ability to move. So like athletes, surgeons, dancers, musicians, painters, people that are using their physical body to then process and move through life. The body is like a catalyst.
As a processing thing. So because when I think about intuition, there's audio, visual,
Mhm.
and there's a knowing, and there's kinesthetic. But
Mhm.
that is tapping into your inner wisdom to do that. So that's why I was thinking, uh, with whatever you just explained, that also through the movement, like you were expressing yourself for all those years and teaching kids to express themselves or whatever and move their body and helping them release stuff, because the kinesthetic is the feelings that gets, so it's moving the body, but it's also the feelings. I guess that's what I was thinking, because that's how you're using it now, right?
Yes, because I'm tying in the emotional intelligence,
Right.
right? I've decided, right, because it's the most natural thing to me to blend the kinesthetic and the emotional intelligence. According to Gardner's work, Howard Gardner and Daniel Goleman, they are separate things. Kinesthetic isn't necessarily, you know, about the emotional connection. It's like body awareness and coordination. It's around like the ability to control your bodily movements. It's the physical part. And then I took 2 of the 9 that he lays out, because there's plenty more, right? And I've paired those 2 because that's what was showing up for me. And that's where I live. That's where my intelligence lies. And that's where so many of us have access to both. And then it's just about strengthening them. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to read an excerpt?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Here we go. What JFK Jr., self-doubt, and a rock bottom moment can teach us all. My heart stopped, and my breath got caught in my throat. I felt immobilized and numb. At 27 years old, I received an invitation to go to dinner with a major celebrity, John F. Kennedy Jr., and his wife, Caroline Bessette Kennedy. And by the way, this was not an invitation for several people or a party where we would say a casual hello. This was an invitation for an intimate dinner with the 2 of them and the 2 of us, me and my Ivy League boyfriend at the time, which was totally ironic, by the way. I was overwhelmed with anxiety, not because this was the son of the former president, but because this proposal put me eye to eye with my darkest demons of self-criticism and self-doubt. My boyfriend casually mentions, hey, we're having dinner with JFK for dinner. For him, it was no big deal because they had grown up together and were really good friends. However, for me, this invitation landed very differently. The moment he told me, my heart started pounding and my entire body went numb. Hearing JFK Jr.'s name instantly created images of textbooks and history lessons in my head. I pictured myself at the dinner table talking about world politics, healthcare, social issues, and classical books. You would have thought that I was invited to a policy briefing in the White House instead of a friendly dinner. I felt sure that I'd be put on trial, berated with questions about books I hadn't read, grades I hadn't earned, and questions I couldn't answer. Crazy, right? Well, you could definitely say that I was disembodied and completely out of alignment. I had created this drama in my head where the main character standing there, ashamed, was me, seeing all fingers pointing at me, saying, "You're not smart enough. You're not worthy. You have nothing to contribute to a conversation with someone like JFK Jr. What are you even doing here?" The angst flooded my body like a tornado that I couldn't escape. I had no sense of reality, lost in a nightmare of my own making. I ended up declining this once-in-a-lifetime dinner invitation. I did what I always do in moments of complete self-doubt and disassociation. I retreated to my safe place, the shower, where I found comfort from the warm water falling on my body. Feeling ashamed, I slithered down to the floor, curled up in a ball, crying. I was not only naked physically, I was naked emotionally. I held my heart and my aching stomach desperately searching for answers. I was deeply disappointed that I had allowed this insecurity to hijack my life so aggressively. I had been used to versions of this throughout my life, but this was the worst. I sat there feeling the smallest I had ever felt and ashamed, like I had never before. This was my rock bottom. I'd given up on myself, and honestly, I wasn't sure how I was going to recover. When we ignore our body's signals, it's like telling ourselves what you have to say doesn't matter. The American Psychological Association says that ignoring our body's signals can have significant consequences on our mental and physical well-being. Research indicates that neglecting these internal cues could increase the risk of mental health disorders, including eating disorders and suicidal behavior. Years later, having almost 3 decades of experience and doing substantial research, I now know that by choosing to face our truths, even when they play a role in our struggles, we're not only taking brave steps, but critical ones toward living and leading a life of fulfillment, authenticity, and success. When we lean into our body anxiety with curiosity rather than judgment, we activate the part of our brain responsible for emotional regulation. Research shows that naming and acknowledging emotions can calm the amygdala, which is the brain's alarm system, and it helps us shift from a reactive state to a much more regulated one. The power of gesture is a tool to help us do that, because when we body set, we're able to deactivate that fight or flight response and engage the parasympathetic nervous system, which promotes relaxation and calm. Can you imagine having learned how to do this when we were young? We would be so much better equipped to handle moments of doubt and stress and anxiety in our lives and build our resilience to deal with this discomfort, doubt, insecurity, and shame. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case for me at all during this time. I sat on the shower floor, curled up in a ball. I didn't have a body set tool. However, something else pretty extraordinary happened that would change the course of my life. As hard as that moment was, my body's reaction was the exact information I needed to make one of the most important decisions of my life. After sitting there for a while, disappointed, frustrated, and deeply disappointed with myself, a presence came over me, and I heard, "How long? How long are you going to stay stuck in this story, this limiting belief that has disempowered you for so many years?" I knew deep down that I was more than this. I knew that I had allowed society to define me before I could define myself. Underneath what felt like an impossible belief and story to rise above, I had this overwhelming feeling that there was so much more to learn and so much more I was meant to become. There were no easy guides, no ready answers, no scripted path to follow, yet I felt this undeniable calling, a presence within me urging me to stand up and take action. It was time to take control and allow this moment to become my greatest teacher, the catalyst to find out who I was, how I learned, and what I was capable of. This was the moment I made the decision to break free from this limiting belief that had dominated my life for 2 decades. I embraced the discomfort. I got out of my head, into my body, chose to get curious, and listened so that I could remember who I was. I didn't know how I'd do it, but I knew I had to begin the journey home to me. So after I'd surrendered, I felt this overwhelming sense of calm. It was almost as if I was giving myself the biggest and most divine hug of my life. Did I have a specific embodiment tool? No. Did I know what I was doing? No. But instead, I followed my gut, my body. For years, my shame, pain, and doubt were internally screaming, showing up loud and in turmoil, causing massive chaos in my body. But after surrendering, I felt my nervous system calm down, and I realized something so profound, that these emotions weren't going to hurt me. They were simply crying out for attention. I found myself feeling empathetic toward them, looking to understand how they evolved, I decided to honor those parts by leaning into their stories to understand their pain. It was as if they were like little people inside of my soul with emotions attached to experiences that needed to be processed and healed. And it was my job to make room for their voices, to scoot over and pull up more seats to the table.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah.
Anybody have any questions, comments, stories about themselves that they'd like to share?
Two things. One, thank you. Guess there's three things. So thank you. I'm interested to see is there a repertoire of gestures that you have, or is it just learning to use your hands for one?
Yeah, it's such a great question. So the gestures come from you. I don't create them. They're not like choreographed or anything. It really is about whatever you're experiencing in the moment, or if there's a specific emotion that you want to move through and call on. We talk about where you feel it in the body. We really feel where you feel it in the body rather than talk about it. And then we identify it. And from there, we create a gesture. And Beth, by the way, if you feel like this is I don't know how much time we have, but I'm happy to give you a little experience with it.
Give us a little experience.
Yeah. Would you like that, Mary Lou? Yeah. Okay. So we can do that. Let's do that now. So we're going to body set by placing one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly, and just close your eyes for a moment. And just breathing into your hands, feeling them on your body. Connecting to this gesture as a gesture of comfort, connection, and a reminder of the power within you. Just taking a couple of breaths here, noticing what you're feeling in this moment. Your emotions could be connected to what we're talking about. It could be connected to an experience that is rising up in you as a result of this conversation. Just notice how you're feeling and what emotions are showing up. And notice where you feel that emotion in your body. And when you have that, when you feel connected to that feeling, you can relax your hands and open your eyes. So I would love to hear just, what the emotion is. Someone can volunteer. We might have time for just a couple of people. This is what's showing up for me, this feeling, and this is where I feel it in my body. Would anyone like to share? Yeah, Carol. Hi. Oh, again.
Well, I'm devastated that I'm not going to be here on Sunday because I love you both. But what just happened for me just now, because I've worked with you and I think you're brilliant, and the combination of the two of you is forget about it. But what happened to me from that story was hopefulness. Like that, when you don't think that you can do something, that there is power. And I felt it in my neck, like the place between my head and my heart. That to let go of having to hold everything up because it's all already there. And I felt this hopefulness, and it was a sensation in the unknown in the back of my neck. Like,
Interesting. I
yeah,
love that. That's
yeah.
so beautiful. Okay, so what would your gesture be with your hands to honor that energy of hope and I invite you to bring in, you went from here and then while you were talking, you know, and you had this connection, right? I'm not sure. Was it on the head and the heart, right? It was here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So does that feel right to embody that entire experience?
Yes. And also, I just felt like I just wanted to just let my neck go, you know, just like, just feel the fluidity of just like, I don't have to hold it all up. It's there. And
Yeah.
just the knowing of the head,
Mm.
the knowing of the heart,
Mm-hmm.
the opening of the throat.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got to show us what is that gesture sequence that really embodies that for you. Would it be just what you did here?
Well, I would say first, just like allowing,
Uh-huh.
you know, the head, the neck, the freedom.
Yep. We're all going to join Carol in her gesture
Yeah.
sequence. Yeah.
And then going to my head and any of the doubt, the worry, the fear, going to my heart, the knowing,
Mm-hmm.
and then connecting to my throat to be able to just, you know, trust and speak your truth and find the hopefulness.
Gorgeous. I love that. Beautiful. So good. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do for the sake of time. And that's such a beautiful expression that I feel like we can all connect with. So I'm going to put music on and we are going to do those gestures with Carol. And again, the invitation is to, of course, we heard it from her experience. And I do feel that this is a universal kind of understanding that in some way or another we can all really relate to. So allow yourself to feel it for yourself. You know, this letting go, as what you said, this letting go and this hope, and then what this would mean for you in this experience, and then bringing your hands here to your heart, and then hear this hopeful expression that that Carol described, okay? So allow your body to internalize that for yourself as well as holding space for what Carol expressed. Clear? Okay, so we're gonna put music on and then we're just gonna follow Carol, and Carol, just move through it 2 times, and then when you're complete, we will end with you. So we're gonna follow Carol and then we're all just gonna land here on our heart together. Okay, for right now, let's just body set all together, one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, and just close your eyes for a moment. And just allow the music to come in. Feeling your hands on your body. Connecting to the power within you. Allowing this gesture to be a reminder. So Carol, keeping your eyes closed, we can all relax our hands and open our eyes, and we'll follow Carol whenever you're ready. Let's all just keep our eyes closed for a moment, holding your hands on your heart center. Just staying here for another moment, I'd like you to consider and feel into what might hold you back from that letting go that Carol described. We all have that desire and that hope and that letting go energy within us. What sometimes gets in the way of that freedom to do that? What sometimes prevents you from letting go? Naming the emotion, fear, doubt, angst, concern, overthinking, whatever the thing is, it's real and it also needs to be heard. When you have that, you can relax your hands and open your eyes. So I would love it if someone just shared that one that, this is what gets in the way sometimes for me, right? Naming what that is and where you feel that in your body. Yes, Mary Lou.
Doubt that no one will care what I have.
Right. I so feel that. Where the idea is to embody that energy, right? So where do you feel that in your body when you say that?
My shoulders and my throat.
Okay. What could a gesture look like to embody that energy? Like, is the energy, shaky and restrictive? Is it tight? And it doesn't necessarily have to be right on there. It's just sort of like using the hands to embody that energy. Yeah, like this. Okay, so let's all do this here, right? Thinking that no one is going to care, right? Now, what I would love for you to do is, do you relate to that letting go, that desire in your own way, right? Okay, so where would your hands go from here to embody that letting go? That, yes, beautiful. So bring it back here, honoring, right? Honoring, listening, getting curious about this is really important and part of the practice, and just letting it be what it is, and then using that strength within you, that desire to then shift. Yes, and letting it go. Absolutely beautiful. I'm curious what happens after you let it go. Where do your hands go from here? How do you feel? Do you feel more grounded, more centered? Where would your hands go from here?
They tend to want to go back.
Yeah, bring them back. Where do they go? Back to your heart? Oh, they want to come back here. Okay, that's fine too. So that's
I'm going to drop them down.
From the beginning or after you let go?
After.
Okay, good. So here's what we're going to do. And this will be interesting for you to play with this, right? We're going to follow you. So you're going to start, I'm going to put some music on, and you're going to embody this, right? Just allow your body to feel it instead of pushing it away and wishing it away. Here it is. I see you. I feel you. Letting it go. And then allowing it to speak again, right here. Maybe it comes lower the second time. Up to you. You'll play with it and see how you feel. Letting it go. And maybe the third time it is, and I'm just inviting this, you don't have to do this at all. Maybe your hands come to your heart. Maybe they're down in your belly. Maybe they've relaxed down to your legs, or maybe they are still here and it's just a little bit looser. You just pay attention and let your hands kind of do the talking. Does that make sense? Okay, not thinking about it, really feeling about it. Okay, so everyone will body set, hand on your heart, belly, closing your eyes. Just taking a deep breath here, allowing the music to come in collectively just in this moment. We can all relax our hands and open our eyes, and then Mary Lou, keeping your eyes closed, move through those gestures a few times, and when you're complete, you can relax your hands and open your eyes. Take your time. Beautiful. Yes. Oh. Beautiful. Yes. Oh. Let's place our hands to the sides of the screen for a moment. And just feel the energy in this space. Holding space for each other in our own expressions and our collective expression, just here for another moment. So beautiful. I'm curious how that was for you, Mary Lou.
Felt like I could barely talk.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
This really went to the heart of me. I'm a dancer myself. And movement, class, and rehearsals always took me away from the world. Now I'm way too present in it.
I love your presence in it.
Thank you.
I think it's beautiful. Yeah. It's really amazing, and something that's coming to me that I really want to offer all of you is that, you know, we have an experience or our emotions shift for whatever reason. We don't have to know how to explain it, and we don't have to chase the why, and we don't have to think about what it is we're feeling and how do we explain it to somebody. We don't have to do any of that. I really invite you to let go of that. You know, I asked Mary Lou, like, right, but I knew, like, I felt even as I was asking, okay, hold on a second, like, this is just feel it, right? And that's enough. And that's so important, because I think we spend a lot of time sort of chasing that why. Why do I feel this way? Why am I thinking this way? Why don't I want this thing? Why I do it all the time. It's annoying. And it's not, it doesn't matter. it doesn't matter. And when we get to a place of realizing that our body speaks, like I can hear you without the words. Our body speaks, and we need to empower that voice, and we don't need to find the words to explain it. It's enough to feel it in any experience of your life, relationships, business, whatever. So I just offer that. Really beautiful. Thank you for experience. Does anyone want to share anything actually else about that experience? Yeah. Oh, I thought I saw somebody raise their hand. No? Okay, it's totally fine. You don't have to share. The one thing I do want to offer you though is this. When you practice the power of gesture, there is something pretty extraordinary that I've learned from working with so many different types of people, that there is this universal understanding around this practice, that when we feel the self-doubt, the pain, the questioning, the insecurity, whatever the thing is, the limiting belief, typically, I would say 100% actually, I'm not even saying typically, 100% of the time, the gestures contract, right? We go inward. Our shoulders, our head comes down. It could be like a flutter. It could be a hiding. The gestures always come in. And when we feel the confidence and the assurance and the readiness, our gestures expand, whether it's just this, going from this to this, the expansion is what brings in that energy. So we have the power within us to shift how we feel, is really what I want to leave you with. So when you're wondering, how can I use this in my own time during my day? Notice how you're feeling. Notice if you get a thing, something in your gut punch or whatever it is, and pause, body set, put a gesture to it, ground in that, see it, feel it, and then transform it with the gesture. It's actually an acronym I created called GIFT. G, ground, which is body set. I, use your imagination to really bring you into that space. F, feel it, because a lot of times we can't feel before we see it. I notice that with a lot of people. They can't just get to the feeling. They need to actually imagine it. And then T is transform, with the power of gesture. So gift, it is your gift inside of yourself. You know how to do it. It's within you. So that's what I leave you with.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Jen, for an amazing experience. You want to share with us about your book launch?
Oh, yes. So my book launch, virtual. If anyone's in New York, near Dobbs Ferry, I'm having an in-person one on the 25th of September. You're more than welcome. It'd be beautiful to see you in person. And if not, on the 30th of September is the book launch, virtual. And basically, it's a live stream. So you can go to any of my platforms, which I'm going to put right here for you to grab. And you can go, it's supposed to work this way. So let's hope that it does, where you just go onto the channel, the platform, and I will be there. So here it is, going to be streamed to everything. I put them all in there, and I put at the bottom the book page, so you can learn more about the book. There's a little video of me talking about it. There's different things about the book. When you buy the book, you get bonuses. I created 3 fun bonuses. Woo woo, as Beth.
Who doesn't want a bonus, baby?
Yeah, baby. So how it works is like you go to the book page on the 30th, right, which is the launch day. You can purchase the book, and then you come back to the book page, I guess Amazon gives you a little order number, code or whatever, and then you can get all the bonuses that I created for you.
Fabulous.
Yes. So I'd love to see you on the day. Also, actually, I'm going to share this with you. For the people that come to the launch, I've created a 3-part series, right? This is so fun. It's going to be a book club, virtual, 3 months. We meet once a month, October, November, December, just once a month. And we're going to read the book, right? 3 months is enough time, I feel like. And then,
even for me.
yeah. And then I have a book. It's a journal that I created, and I'm going to give it to you, you know, to just go with the experience. So you're not going
Oh
to.
my goodness.
I know, right? I'm
So many bonuses, so much fabulousness.
Don't forget, you get 5 videos inside the book. 'Cause
That's
it's a
crazy.
multimedia experience.
Will you come tuck me in at night?
I know, I might as well just give my soul.
I love you, Jen Aks.
I love you too.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to pause and reflect and feel and listen to your body is speaking.
Reach out to me with anything. My email and everything, it's all in there on my, you know, actually, I don't even know that I put that on there. I want to give it.
Put it in there. And if you're not doing anything Sunday, we've got a fabulous, fun afternoon planned on
Yes.
a cosmic portal in Newtown at Sticks and Stones Farm. It's worth a drive from anywhere. Maybe not California, but
So excited.
thank you all. Be well. Thanks for showing up. Woohoo! Thank you, Jen Aks.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you.
Take care.